Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to today's meeting of the Boston Public Facilities Commission. I'm going to hand it over to TT. I only see the...
Thank you, Chair Craven.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast live. Before we get started, I will now ask Colleen Daly, the PFC Secretary, to take a roll call of the meeting participants. Colleen, would you please conduct the roll call?
Thank you, TT. Please unmute your device and confirm your presence when I call your name, beginning with roll call with the Commission. Catherine Craven, Chair.
Present.
Larry Mamoli, Commissioner.
Present.
Donald Wright, Commissioner.
Present.
TT Lee, Legal Advisor.
Present.
Catherine Pendleton, Article Clerk.
Present.
And with PFD, Kerry Griffin, Director.
Present.
Tom Kosmowski, Senior Project Manager.
Present.
Guy D. Acevedo, Project Manager.
Present.
I'll read for the record the remainder of the individuals in attendance. Attendees do not have to unmute your device when I call your name. Elizabeth Feltner, paralegal for the PFC. Marquise Mecca, Assistant Director for Construction. Stephen Sirocco, Assistant Director for Construction. And this concludes roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. The first order of business before you this morning concerns draft meeting minutes for the Public Facilities Department and Mayor's Office of Housing from prior meetings which took place on September 20th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve these meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The meeting minutes of September 20th, 2023 for PFD and MOH are hereby approved. We're starting this morning with the Public Facilities Department. We have Kerry Griffin, Director of PFD. PFD has 2 vote requests on the agenda for today. Vote number 1 is being presented by Tom Kosmowski, Senior Project Manager with PFD. This is a request for contract award to PMA Consultants, LLC, for owner project manager services associated with the North End Community Center project, including the design and construction of a new community center facility located at 471 Commercial Street, North End, with an option to retain for continued services for multiple concurrent phases. The contract price is recommended at $3,289,750. Tom, if you would please present your vote request.
Thank you, TT. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to request a vote for the approval to award an owner's project management service contract for the North End Community Center project. The Public Facilities Department is managing the design and construction of the new community center facility located at 471 Commercial Street in the North End section of Boston, with an option to retain for continued services for multiple concurrent phases. In addition, PFD is working with the Boston Centers for Youth and Families Department to timely deliver the OPM services for this project within 182 weeks of the contract's execution date. The scope of the project management services will consist of the management of the designer services, design review, and cost estimating, including coordination of public procurement processes for the designer, construction manager, and related goods and services procurements, all state, federal, and local permitting processes. It will also include the management of the construction manager throughout the project and review and negotiation of the guaranteed maximum price, as this project will be utilizing Mass General Law, Chapter 149A procurement. This contract will establish and manage ongoing project accounting and cost control systems, including project scheduling, preparation and control, development and implementation of quality control program for the project, construction mitigation and site logistics planning, management of certain project meetings, tracking and facilitating the timely resolution of general contractor and construction manager requests for information, submittals, change orders, payments, punch list, and project closeout. Management of general contractor construction management contract, move coordination, and management of furniture, fixtures, equipment, signage, and wayfinding design, procurement, and installation. If I may direct your attention to the PowerPoint slide for this project. This slide depicts an aerial view of the site located at 471 Commercial Street in the North End section of Boston. As you can see, the site is bounded by the Boston Harbor to the north, Commercial Street to the south. To the west are the playgrounds of Langone Park, and to the east is the U.S. Coast Guard base. The city publicly advertised for owner's project management services through a request for qualifications process pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 7C. The advertisement was submitted to the city's small local business enterprise office for distribution and notice on its listserv on 5/24/23, and for publication in the city record in the Boston Globe on 5/31/23. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in the Massachusetts Secretary of State Central Register Weekly Posted on 6/7/23. In response to the RFQ, 4 firms submitted statement of qualifications for the project on June 28, 2023. A selection committee comprised of 3 people with experience in design and construction from the City of Boston's Public Facilities Department reviewed the qualifications of each firm on 7/12/23 using the defined criteria in the RFQ. On 8/2/23, 3 firms were shortlisted by the selection committee, including Answer Advisory Management, LLC, PMA Consultants, LLC, and Left Field, LLC. On 9/18/23, all 3 firms were interviewed, and PMA Consultants, LLC was recommended as the top OPM firm due to its experience with the City of Boston's and the Public Facilities Department's projects and procedures, Mass General Law, Chapter 149A, construction projects, their past performance on public facilities projects, experience with state and federal permitting in urban settings. Additionally, PMA Consultants, LLC is a state-certified minority business enterprise. Also, Kevel Enterprises, who PMA is using for scheduled support services, is a state-certified women business enterprise. In accordance with the RFQ's guidelines for owner's project management service fee calculation, PFD and PMA LLC negotiated the OPM fee not to exceed $3,289,750, including $559,750 for additional services. The OPM's fee is based on an estimated construction cost of $70 million. In conclusion, I'm seeking the Public Facilities Commission's approval to award a professional owner's project management service contract to PMA Consultants, LLC. I'm here to answer any questions you may have, and I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Tom. Good job. Any questions from the commissioner?
No questions from me. Your
Thank you
meeting,
very much.
Commissioner.
Oh, I'm sorry. More of a comment question. Since the site is actually you're in the magenta zone under Chapter 91, is there going to be any permitting problems because of the fact you're building this use right next to the waterfront and so forth?
So Larry, actually PMA Consultants has, one of their consultants that they've taken on is Epsilon, and their experience in permitting is unbelievable.
You've got a good sub-consultant that can do your permitting under Chapter 91. I guess you've answered my questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Good one, Larry. I think I heard a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion
Thank
carries.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.
Vote number 1 is hereby approved. Vote number 2 is a request for a contract award to Canon Boston Incorporated, doing business as Canon Design. This is going to be presented by Gui Acevedo, project manager for PFD. This is to conduct a design study for a comprehensive in-depth facilities condition assessment of City of Boston-owned buildings to develop robust recommendations and data sets to support short-term and long-term capital planning associated with the citywide facilities condition assessment project. The contract price is recommended at $3,176,077. Gui, if you would please present your vote request.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to request a vote for approval to award design study services contract to Cannon Boston Incorporated, doing business as Cannon Design, for the citywide Facilities Condition Assessment Project. The Public Facilities Department, PFD, is managing this design study project, which will be conducted across all city-owned buildings, with the exception of buildings that have had extensive assessments or construction projects completed either recently or in progress. The PFD is working alongside with the Mayor's Office and the Property Management Department to timely deliver the design study services for this project within a total of 78 weeks of the contract's execution date. 180 buildings, city-owned buildings have been identified with the project scope, many of which are in need of repair renovation, and all at varying degrees. To identify and organize these much-needed improvements, the scope of design study services consists of a full investigation and asset inventory of city-owned facilities. Making up this investigation includes a high-level ADA assessment, asset and equipment tagging on site, data integration onto an online platform called Asset Essentials, which is currently used by the Property Management Department. Report documents, and for buildings with no current reference drawings, updated reference drawings will be produced as part of this project as well. And then a detailed cost estimate for work required to address deficiencies identified in the FCA. If I may direct your attention to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, as you can see, this view depicts a sample of an executive summary of an FCA provided by Cannon Design. Reports and organized cost estimates, such as this example, will provide all departments with a method to prioritize work for both immediate needs and long-term capital planning. A critical element to our FCA project is the integration and uploading of the data set into Asset Essentials. Along with our FCA, the Mayor's Office is coordinating for Asset Essentials to include a facility maintenance ticketing module, which will allow every department to track and update the status of the initial info compiled by this FCA project. The city publicly advertised for professional design study services through a request for qualifications process pursuant to the Mass General Law, Chapter 7C. The advertisement was submitted to the city's small local business enterprise office for distribution and notice on its listserv, and for publication in the City Record and Boston Globe on May 29, 2023. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in the Massachusetts Secretary of State's Central Register weekly posting on May 31st, 2023. In response to the RFQ, a total of 4 firms submitted a statement of qualifications for the project on July 6, 2023. A selection committee comprised of 5 people with experience in design, planning, construction from the City of Boston Facilities Department, as well as a representative from the Property Management Department, reviewed the qualifications of each firm on July 26, 2023, using the defined criteria in the RFQ. On July 26, 2023, all 4 firms were confirmed by the selection committee for an interview phase on August 14th, after which Cannon Design was recommended as the top firm due to its experience with facilities condition assessments. In accordance with the RFQ's guidelines for fee calculations, PFD and Cannon Design negotiated the not-to-exceed fee of $3,176,077, of which $271,809 is designated for additional services. In conclusion, I am seeking the Public Facilities Commission's approval to award a professional design study services contract to Cannon Design. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Any questions?
More, again, a comment. The city does this every, 10, 15, 20 years, do these studies, assessments. And usually remember, I think last time I remember Chuck Grisby doing it. And then when we did it when the Mayor Menino thought. Is there any idea of when we get this report, instead of just getting a, a nice binder that then goes on someone's shelf, that it could actually be incorporated into some sort of software system that some agent, I'm not saying PFD's responsibility, but somebody actually keeps maintaining that software system of this information and so forth, that so we're not just every 10 years you get a book that's nice and dusty, that actually kind of updates things, whether it's construction prices and so forth, and gives it a more better system. I mean, is that anything we're getting out of this assessment report?
Absolutely, Commissioner. Part of this project is to integrate it into an online system. It's called Asset Essentials. The Property Management Department is already using this system, but we're going to bolster it and make it more efficient and proper for maintenance tracking as well. So once we upload our information, there's a ticketing system that we're developing with the mayor's office. So as they have a baseline from our project of information, they'll continue to add to it through the ticketing and maintenance programs. Each department will have the ability to shape it to its needs. And that'll continue moving it forward.
No other questions?
Okay, thanks. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. Thank you, Gwee.
Thank you, you all.
Vote number 2 is hereby approved. This concludes PFD's agenda for today's meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning this portion of the meeting?
Aye.
Aye. We'll take a few minute break now and then move on with the Mayor's Office of Housing right after, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.